Good evening, everybody. My name is Moore, Roger Moore. When I was asked by the Slapping Cinema team to introduce the new episode, or podcast if you will, I said thank you. I'd be delighted. So here I am. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the latest episode of the movie podcast, Slapping Cinema. Enjoy.
Thank you, Roger.
Yes, cheers, Rog.
Welcome to Slapping Cinema. I'm Giles Hall.
I'm Rob Hughes. Hang on. See you, Rog.
See you, Roger.
He's leaving.
Ta-da.
Nice one, Rog.
That was brilliant. Sorry we've been gone for so long. We've been busy.
Very busy. We don't get paid for this. Had we?
I'm not even going to bury the lead. Rob, what have you been up to with those shenanigans?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I've made music for a movie, an actual proper movie.
An actual proper film?
Yeah.
That was in a cinema and everything?
Yes.
And what is the title of this film?
It's called We Still Kill the Old Way.
And who's it directed by?
Sacha Bennett.
Ah.
A very good director who I worked with over the summer. And a very talented person, and I think everyone should watch this film. Basically, when is this going out? When is this episode going out?
As soon as possible.
Well, it'll be available on DVD from Boxing Day. We Still Kill the Old Way, starring Ian Ogilvy, one of my heroes, as Simon Templar, and fantastic films such as Witchfinder General and The Sorcerers and From Beyond the Grave, No Sex Please, We're British, Waterloo, Wuthering Heights, you name it, he's done it, and he's in it. It also stars Alison Doody, who...
From Indiana Jones and Last Crusade.
Correct.
My favourite indie girl.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It was rather wonderful. And she's Jenny Flex in A View to a Kill. She's also in Taffin.
Taffin.
Do you remember Taffin?
Taffin.
Well, maybe you should live in here!
Yes, I remember Taffin very well.
She's in that too. Stephen Burkoff from First Blood Rambo Part 2.
And Beverly Hills Cop.
Octopussy.
Didn't he play Hitler once?
Probably did. And loads of... Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is in loads of things, Burkoff. He's actually in 2 original episodes of The Roger Moore Saint to tie it in with the sort of Ian Ogilvy Saint. But that's... Who else is in it? James Cosmo from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes.
Trainspotting.
Who was he in Game of Thrones?
Come on, you must know.
Mormont. I don't remember his first name.
Terry
Mormont.
No, it wasn't.
He was
it was
the
Chris.
He was the leader of the Men in Black.
Tommy Lee
What were they called?
I don't know. I don't watch the Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
That was brilliant, show.
He's Renton's dad in Trainspotting, Braveheart, loads of other films.
Braveheart, I remember him from that.
Yeah, and a load of new stars too. But yeah, watch it.
Isn't Ray Winston's daughter in it?
No, Danny Dyer's daughter.
Danny Dyer's daughter. Danny Dyer.
And her name is Danny Dyer as well. Yes.
Have you met any of the cast? Did you have an opportunity to?
I didn't know. I didn't get round to it, but I've seen all of their performances in the film. I'll be honest with you, I hyperventilated when my first track kicked in, which is about 2.5 minutes into the film.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, and it appears all throughout your stuff.
Yeah. And there's I didn't score the entire film. There's other score to it too, and there's other sort of incidental music, but that's just music-wise. I did 10 tracks for it.
Fantastic.
So life goal down, and I can get on with talking crap about Bond and Star Wars now. Yeah, but buy it on DVD. I think you can pre-order it on Amazon. I think it's £7. So it's £7 for the DVD and £10 for the Blu-ray. It's a good yarn. Violent.
I will be buying a copy, and I wish to have it autographed.
You can.
Right.
Because Ian Ogilvy is over.
By you, sir.
That's fine. I've got a thing about autographing things. It must be with a permanent marker. I've tried autographing things in the past with biro, and you just do not get the purchase or the flow rate with the ink. It's a big thing in my life. You must provide your own Sharpie, and I'd be happy to sign.
It's good to have standards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't cut corners with things like that.
I signed an autograph once, but it was with a ballpoint pen.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It
There
just
was a
marks.
little Mexican kid who thought I was funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And surprise, surprise, Giles, you haven't seen him for 20 years,
No.
but here he is, all the way from Mexico.
Pepe?
Yeah. Is that you? Come in. Right. Okay. It's been so long, I can't remember what we do on this show.
Well, we usually start with the deaths, don't we?
Oh, right.
The births, marriages, and deaths. Now, it's the end of the year. We've missed quite a lot of people as we've gapped our podcasts and stuff. So
well, we'll spiel through.
I found a list of the top people who have died this year,
Ooh.
and I found 3 Bond villains.
Gottfried John would be one.
There he is, right there. GoldenEye.
Yes.
Who did he play in GoldenEye?
General Orumov.
Orumov.
Orumov, you do know that 006 is a Leon's Cossack, don't you?
Did we talk about Warren Clark? He died this year. Did we mention him?
We haven't, no. Warren
No,
Clark,
no.
of course, brilliant British actor. Have you ever seen a film called Arthur's Dyke? It's
No.
a rare British film about a group of people who walk Offa's Dyke, that borders Wales and England. If you get a chance to see that, look it up, but it is rare.
Obviously, the first thing I
He's
saw
in
him
that.
in was Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Ready for love!
He's one of the Droogs.
Ready for love! That was like the biggest line he had.
He likes lines like that. ID. Smell fuel for do,
I-
smell fuel for don't.
I was going to mention ID.
ID,
That was
yeah.
the next film I saw him in.
ID2 sequel in the plan.
No fucking way.
Yes, fucking way.
What an
And I-
obscure fucking pull.
I know all of these years. I've seen directed by Phil Davis. I didn't realise it was the actor Phil Davis that directed that film.
Oh, right. Okay.
So they're in. That's it.
I want to mention
pipeline.
John Panette, who died this year. You probably don't recognise him. He was in The Punisher. That was like the only film he did. He was a great stand-up comedian.
Yes, he was the big guy.
The fat guy who sang opera.
Yeah, and he used to look through the crack to see what the trouble was with Thomas Jane.
But hilarious stand-up guy. I sort of saw him when I was a kid in the 80s. And he used to sing Bon Jovi songs in the style of the Chipmunks. Fucking made me piss myself. It was so brilliant. But he will be missed. As mentioned, Roger Lloyd Pack.
Of course, a huge. Everyone knows him as Trigger from Only Fools and Horses, but he did have a fair few films behind his belt. Interview with a Vampire. Did you know he was in that?
Did you mention that to me before?
I think I probably have. Yeah.
Probably have. I knew he was in Preaching to the Perverted. I think we talked about that.
Is he in one of the Harry Potters?
And yeah, he's in Goblet of Fire.
Right.
And gets killed by his son, who's David Tennant.
All right.
We mentioned Sid Caesar on an earlier show this year.
We did.
And delved into your love of Grease too.
Yeah, we won't
as
delve
a
into
result
that
of that. M.B. Davis, she played Alice in the Brady Bunch series, which I grew up with.
Right.
She was the ultimate housekeeper.
Rick Mail, of course.
Rick Mail, we got to mention Rick Mail. We haven't talked about him. He passed away not too long after we did our last show.
Was it?
Yeah. And just such a blow. I mentioned on the Facebook page that my first introductions to British comedy were Monty Python, The Young Ones, and Blackadder.
Right.
And they used to play them on MTV in the 80s on a Friday night.
What, the Young Ones?
They'd have a British, 2 hours of British comedy.
Yeah.
Ab Fab would be on it. For some fucking reason, Drop the Dead Donkey, which just wasn't good.
Right.
But
well, you wouldn't get the references for it because it was
No.
all stuff that had happened in the UK that week.
But we would get The Young Ones and, what was it, the comic strip live?
Yeah,
Was that what it was? They did those short films.
Do I know? I
Like
probably
Robbie
know.
Coltrane, Jennifer Saunders. All
Oh,
that
those!
lot.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course I do.
Like
Yeah,
Five Go Mad.
it just it wasn't in my head for a minute, and now it's back.
Didn't they do a version of the Persuaders called the Bullshitters or something like that?
If they did, I want to see it.
With Keith Allen.
Right.
And every time you see them jumping over cars, and they're wearing less and less clothing as the film goes on.
I see.
But Rick Mayall he will be missed. I mean, film people will know him mainly for Drop Dead Fred.
Oh yeah. That was his first cross over the pond, wasn't it? And
yeah. But of course, you know him for your favourite film.
Oh, An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
One of the drinkers at the Slaughtered Lamb.
Aye, Stay Off the Moors.
Yes.
Keep to the Road or whatever it was.
That's enough.
That's it.
That's enough.
What?
You made me miss
Joan Rivers. Do you not want to talk about her?
We can. We could be here all day, couldn't we? Just on the deaths.
But it's okay. We'll skip through. But Joan Rivers, she was always annoying to me as a kid when I saw her on television. I saw her on The Muppet Show. Not The Muppet Show. The Muppets Take Manhattan, the film.
Right.
And where she works alongside Miss Piggy. But
right.
Then
which doesn't seem out of place.
I moved over here. I didn't hear about her. Then all of a sudden, in recent years, she just sprang up on the scene, and she was fucking filthy.
Oh yeah,
doing 9/11 jokes and all sorts.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
She was hardcore in her old years.
She was the first alternative shocking comedian.
Let's get to the two big bone villains: Jeffrey Holder and Richard Kiel.
Yeah, Baron Samedi and Jaws.
Now I know.
Well, we had Roger in before, and we should have done an interview with him about. He's gone.
No,
he's just gone down the pub. He told me.
Two of his villains as well. That's why he left so quick.
Well,
I don't want any questions.
Yes, yeah. Well, that was a good impression.
Thank you. Now I knew Jeffrey Holder first from Live and Let Die. As what was his? Say his name properly.
Baron Samedi.
Samedi, thank you. I always say Samadi. I pronounce it wrong. Yeah. Samedi. But he was also a spokesperson in America, in American commercials for 7-Up.
Right.
And he had this catchphrase all throughout the early 80s and probably late 70s. Crisp and clean, no caffeine. Never had it? Ha ha ha. Never will. And every time I would get a 7-Up, I'd always think to myself, crisp and clean, no caffeine.
Never heard.
He was also in that Eddie Murphy film, Boomerang.
Yes, I know. I can see the video cover in my head now. I haven't seen the film.
With Grace Jones, another Bond villain.
Right.
And most recently, he was the narrator of Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Right. Was he?
And for Charlie and his family, life had never been sweeter.
I didn't know it was him.
No, definitely. And Richard Kiel. Now, I saw a very, very, very early film with Richard Kiel in it, before Bond stuff.
60s then.
Very 60s. It was called The Human Duplicators.
Right.
And he was an alien who was replicating. He'd hold people hostage and take their DNA and replicate these sort of ceramic versions of them. To what end, I have no idea.
Well,
I
obviously
couldn't quite figure out.
A nice figurine collection.
And then he falls in love with a blind girl.
Right.
His name was Kolos as well.
I've got to watch this film.
Human Duplicators, check it out. But I'd seen him in a lot of stuff. He was in Cannonball Run 2. He was in...
Cannonball Run?
Yeah, him and Jackie Chan.
Yes, of course it was, yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And what else I see? Happy Gilmore, that Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
And he had a nail in his head. That was fucking awesome. Jan Hooks died. She was in a few films, usually small parts, but she was a Saturday Night Live person when I first started watching that, and she was a very, very funny woman. She did a great song about, I'm not related, I didn't evolve from monkeys, I evolved from Jesus, which was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard as a kid on television.
Yeah.
Director Mike Nichols quite recently passed away. Do you know any of his films, Mike Nichols' films?
Well, oh yeah, Closer. He directed Closer, didn't he? Of course.
That's the only one that's mentioned on there.
Of course.
Catch-22,
yeah.
Biloxi Blues, The Graduate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, big ones. No, I'm a fan of Catch-22, especially Biloxi Blues, because I played that in a play once.
Right.
I played. Let's get to Bob Hoskins.
We
did talk about him.
Bob,
Poor
didn't we,
Bobo's
at the
gone.
time, yeah.
Harold Ramis, one of the Ghostbusters, is now a ghost.
Yeah, we covered him at the time as well, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We never talked about him. We just put it up
Right.
on the thing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you grew up with Ghostbusters and
Yeah.
still a great
Stripes. He was great in Stripes.
And he's a great director as well.
Yeah.
He directed Groundhog Day, which is...
He co-wrote Ghostbusters as well.
Yeah.
I read a lot about Ghostbusters because the 30th anniversary this year.
Right.
And a lot of stuff has come out, like the, what was his name? Ernie Hudson, who played Winston. That part was written for Eddie Murphy.
Right.
Originally. That nobody really wanted to see Bill Murray and Eddie Murphy trying to out-funny each other.
Right, so they
and then they cut the part drastically for Ernie
Right.
Hudson, bless him. But Harold Ramis, he was a brilliant, man. Let's get through the list. Richard Attenborough,
Of course.
director, actor, Jurassic Park creator.
He did, and his legacy still lives on in many ways.
We've got a T-Rex. I had no idea he was related to David Attenborough.
Until he died, I didn't realise they were brothers.
Yeah, I totally thought it was just two people with the same surname.
Yeah, which isn't uncommon.
But fucking hell.
I really didn't know they were brothers.
They couldn't have less to do with each other.
No.
And it's incredible. That blew my mind. That was the big thing when he died.
Same here. And I thought I was stupid for not knowing it.
American actor James Garner.
Yes,
classic
of course,
tough
yeah.
guy.
Another one from The Great Escape.
Oh, yes.
And he was Maverick, of course.
Maverick, Rockford. That's how I think.
The Rockford Files.
Rockford Files.
Yeah.
Lauren Bacall, brilliant
yeah.
actress.
One of the classics.
Bombshell. I only got into her when she was older, I guess, from watching her in Poirot films and shit like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
He was once the greatest actor in the world. Bang! You hear me? The world. I love Mickey Rooney.
Fantastic.
And I love impersonations of Mickey Rooney. Ken Weatherwax. The original Pugsley Adams died last week.
From the Addams Family?
Yeah, the original Pugsley.
The original Pugsley Adams.
And he looked exactly the same in his old age.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's probably not so good for him.
Eli Wallach.
Eli Wallach, yeah. Good, Bad and the Ugly. Yeah.
He was the ugly. Playing a Mexican, even though he was very Jewish.
Yeah. Dark eyebrows.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Of course, yeah, we all know about that.
Tragedy. But the big one, I think, not her. Stephanie Mosley, she died a couple of weeks ago. It was very tragic.
Don't know her.
She was a choreographer for films and stuff
Right.
like that. Very tragic. But we don't know much about her. Robin Williams. Now, he was a big one.
Yeah.
That was almost unbelievable.
True. It's it's still
fucking shocked.
You still don't. It's still quite unbelievable now. When you think
I spent a good 2 weeks going through his
films.
Definitely.
What was the best moment of Robin's films that you went through in that 2 weeks?
I went through? It was Oh Captain, My Captain, to be honest. I got really teary-eyed watching that.
Right.
Thinking, oh fuck. Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
When he's leaving and all the students stand up on the thing.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. But the film I enjoyed the most watching again was Popeye, his first film.
Was that his first film?
That was his first proper film. He did Mork and Mindy.
1980.
Yeah. I mean,
Mork
first appeared on Happy Days. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Richie, and I think in another episode, Fonzie get visited by this alien Mork from Mork.
Right, and that's where.
And then the spin-off series, he came back to Earth and met Mindy. And
mind blown once again. I didn't realise Mork and Mindy was a spin-off.
Laverne and Shirley was as well.
I suppose the British answer to that would be George and Mildred, which was a spin-off from Man About the House. That's another story. Yeah.
But yeah, Robin Williams just utterly horrible that he's gone.
Yeah. So that's that. Look, you can tell we haven't done an episode for ages because There are a lot of people have passed.
Yeah, jeez. But that was the top of the year for us, I think.
Yeah. What do we do now, Giles?
Well, we got so much to fucking talk about.
And we've got 1 hour. Well,
we've done 20 minutes so far.
That's cool.
That's all right.
We've got a good 40 minutes yet. Right.
I mean,
Okay.
should we just delve straight into Bond watching?
Yeah. Right. Okay. I've read the script to Spectre.
What?
I read it online the other day because it was stolen in Secret Hacks. Yeah, it needs work. It needs a lot of work.
Another Sony hacks thing as well.
Yeah,
fucking.
At the end, it turns out that Christopher Waltz isn't Blofeld. He's actually a cross-dressing. No, I haven't really read it. And apparently the script's out there, a very early version of the script, and don't read it because it's immoral.
Absolutely.
So,
unless it's given to you by the writer.
If Barbara Broccoli comes round your house and says, bloody well read this,
Tell me what you think.
I'll quite happily read it. Okay, Barbara. Just, I'm not going to read it now. Just give me a couple of days, all right, I hate reading scripts.
I've actually experienced something like that. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
Say it.
The first fan letter I ever wrote was to Kevin Smith.
Right.
After Chasing Amy came out.
Right.
And I said I was really looking forward to Dogma. That was going to be his next film.
Right, yeah.
And I emailed him because it had a contact Kevin Smith on his comic book store page. And I got an email back from him and said, hey, just to save you from getting... The script is leaked on the internet. And to save you from feeling all guilty about it, I've decided to send you a copy of it. And there's a PDF attached.
Of Dogma?
Of the original script of Dogma.
Right, because he said it's out there anyway, but here you go, have it.
Yeah, have it from the source, he said.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Did you read it?
I read it, and then I watched the film, and sat there going, oh, they cut that bit out! Oh, they cut that bit out! There's a bit with Jay and Silent Bob sing the theme tune, The Fat Albert, and I was really looking forward to seeing that. and they cut it out.
It didn't make it.
No, you see them actually doing the dance in the car, and then it's obviously the end of that scene, and something else happens. I was like, fuck, they cut that bit out. But largely, it was exactly how I envisioned it.
Oh, right,
Yeah. But anyway, more Bond
That's a
news.
good
Come
story.
on, Bond.
Daniel Craig, Bond, as we know. Christoph Waltz is the villain Oberhausen.
Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, she's fine. 50 and looking ravishing at 50.
She's 50?
She's 50.
Why?
And, I'm 34 and I wouldn't mind
Maybe
going
she's Blofeld.
Well, there have been rumours.
Already,
There have been rumours.
I thought it was being original.
Do you know what I think? I don't think we'll see Blofeld in Spectre. Not in the way we think. We will see him stroking his pussy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You do in every other Bond film.
You didn't actually meet Blofeld in the
until
flesh.
Donald Pleasance.
Which was the 5th film in.
There you go. But it was Smersh before Spectre, wasn't it?
No, Spectre was in...
Smersh is the Russians.
Yeah, Smersh was the Russian sort of like...
Smersh.
Yeah, spies. Whereas the Spectre aren't spies, they're just a terrorist organization.
What does Spectre stand for?
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge and Extortion.
Now, the revenge part I have a problem with. It's not. It's like, oh, we're out revenging.
Yeah, well,
Are they going to update it like they did with S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because S.H.I.E.L.D. was never like special homeland intervention, whatever.
Oh, they might. They'll probably stick.
It was like special hazard in the original comics, as I recall.
yeah, revenge. Yeah, well,
but they go homeland. Hey, everybody knows what that is. A security force.
You never know. The revenge part might come into it. They might outthink you, Giles, and think right.
This is for shooting Mr. White in the kneecap.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, so Bond. Yeah, we all know about it. There's nothing that you can't find right in your face about the new Bond.
All up in your grill.
Star Wars, however, we've had a teaser trailer.
I when it came out, I watched it about 24 times in a row, and my son
That's ridiculous,
watched
Giles.
it with me.
I think I've hit 12 or 13 times. Yeah, I didn't go too mad. And then I had a new phone, so I had to check out the graphics of my new phone.
I haven't got a tattoo of some of the characters like some people have. You see,
Right,
that fucking R2 thing that's on the ball.
Yeah.
I believe its name has been released as BB-8.
Right. Do you know what I hope happens now?
What?
Because somebody's had a tattoo of it, I hope they cut BB-8 out of the entire film and universe and said it was only a pretend bit anyway.
I mean, he could end up being the Jar Jar of this fucking film.
He could be a pain in the ass.
Something else I found out, he wasn't CGI.
Eh?
That droid was not CGI on that trailer.
Really?
I thought it was.
I thought it was. It looked CGI.
It isn't.
Right.
It's an actually built
Ball
ball with a magnetic
thing.
balance thing on it.
Oh, I've got a lot of time for that then.
Yeah. But I mean, that blew me away.
Yeah.
There are obviously CGI things.
Well, I obviously knew the Millennium Falcon was real.
Yeah.
Not CGI. But that
It's just
the shot,
fantastic seeing it again.
the actual shot where you tracked with the Millennium Falcon upside down and around and
it's,
forward and backwards.
And it goes down and sluice up some fucking sand.
That was cool.
But what totally sold me was seeing those X-Wings again.
Yeah.
It was lovely seeing X-Wings and coasting on a fucking top of a lake.
This part 7, right? Episode 7.
The Force Awakens. Let's not forget that.
Has a lot of characters we know and love in it.
But none of them are in the trailer, which I liked.
Yeah, because it would have been too obvious to just get them in there.
Yeah.
However, we all know the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters, the Millennium Falcon. Luke's going to be in it. Leia's going to be in it. Han's going to be in it. You're going to have that. I've got no problem with J.J. Abrams directing it. I think he's going to make
Let's just hope JJ doesn't stand for Jar Jar.
Well, I was going to come on to that next.
Oh,
it does.
No,
No,
you're going to do a punchline and I ruined it for you.
No, I'm only joking. It's it could go either way, but I don't think it's going to suck.
No, I don't think it is.
Because I really like this sort of the nighttime forest snow scene, and then you get it looks really dark.
We haven't seen a planet like that yet, have we? Because planets in Star Wars, they're based on a single climate, as we all know.
However, Hoth was snowy, but it didn't have a forest.
No.
But we've had a snow planet and a forest planet. What they've done here, which is quite ingenious, they've mixed the two together.
Endor and Hoth.
Yeah, it's obviously not called
Hothdor.
Planet
Sounds
Hothdor.
like Hodor.
Hodor. But that scene of the hooded character, which I think is probably going to be Andy Serkis.
You know his name?
Andy Serkis.
Darth. Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. And if you look at that, there's no Darth attached to his name. They released his name, but no Darth.
Maybe.
I think he's a Sith wannabe. That's why his lightsaber looked a bit weird.
Right. Okay, he's a Sith wannabe.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently the whole adage of there has to be just one master and apprentice. Apparently, with the Sith, it's out of the window in this film. Something's happened, and there's as many bloody ones as they can.
And the Empire obviously isn't destroyed. There's fucking shitloads of stormtroopers.
Yeah, they're still going for it.
All fucking like all Blade Runner stormtroopers, all like decked out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it remains to be. We've only got a pissing year to wait. The odd thing is, they finished shooting.
Yeah.
Before the new Bond film starts shooting, the new Bond film comes out a month before it. See, that's what CGI does for you, ladies and gentlemen. Post-production is a different thing entirely.
Have you read anything about them releasing the names of the characters from the trailer?
No.
Because you know the girl on the sort of sand speeder thing?
Yeah. What, that sort of like...
They just released her name as Rey. R-E-Y. Rey.
Oh, I thought it would be better if it was R-A-Y.
But it's going to be... They not putting her last name there.
Yeah.
So she's
going to be Rey Skywalker.
Or Skywalker.
Yeah.
I hope it's Solo.
It won't be Skywalker, will it? Because...
he's not allowed to fuck.
No.
And there's only one girl in the fucking Star Wars universe.
So hang on a minute. Jedis aren't allowed to fuck?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, what's the point?
That's why Anakin went all fucking shit.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. I didn't really.
He got married. That's even worse.
Yeah. How dare you do that?
Can't have fucking.
Oh, hang on a minute. I thought being a Jedi was cool. All of a sudden, it's shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, not being one anymore. But the midichlorians, I don't give a shit. I'm having sex.
I'm jizzing my midichlorians on some girl's face, neck, and chest, whether or not.
Yeah.
That's Anakin, the dark side.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Darth Vader was rutting like a bunny. That's, you know what I mean? Because he thought, Christ, I'd be on the dark side straight away if you were allowed to fuck.
Mm.
Right.
That was probably been burnt off or whatever. Oh, bless him.
I never thought of that. But you can have a robot one,
But,
which will last longer.
Jason Isaac? Is it not Jason Isaac? What's it? Oscar Isaac, the actor. You don't know him?
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac. He was in Sucker Punch. He was in that new film by the Coen brothers about a musician with a cat.
I don't know. Who's he playing?
The musician with the cat.
Oh, right.
I can't remember what it's called. It was a really good film as well.
Which one was he in the trailer?
Oh, he was the X-Wing pilot.
Right.
Poe Dameron is his name.
Apparently he turns to the dark side.
Really?
Don't know.
Okay. And the black stormtrooper was named Finn.
Finn,
the stormtrooper.
Finn isn't really a name for a stormtrooper. Apparently.
Did you get my Spaceballs joke on our page, on our Facebook page?
I don't know if I did.
I just put a picture of him looking around in the desert, and I just put, "We ain't found shit."
Well, apparently he's a stormtrooper, so he's not masquerading as a stormtrooper. Apparently he's a stormtrooper
Deserted.
that has the Force.
No way.
And doesn't go to the dark side. He just goes, hang on a minute, I've got bloody midichlorians here. I was just about to
My
go.
midichlorian count is way the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, test this.
It rivals that of Christopher Lee.
Well, that is something else.
Fuck off.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, Star Wars, it's just so cool. I'm glad that my kid is going to have his own generation of Star Wars movies.
And
they
figures.
And they don't have Jar Jar in them.
That'll be good.
And figures. Oh, I didn't think about that. The fucking toys.
Yeah, I hope they bring out the figurines in the same sort of box as the original ones. You know, the same sort of artwork.
Yeah, because you're good at manipulating that.
I am, yes. Because that was, as a kid, going into the toy shop and seeing them all laid out there. Well, the shop just around the corner is not there anymore.
Yeah.
They all you go into the newsagents and all the figurines would be behind the counter the length of the shop. And as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, bearing in mind these would have been Jedi ones, and they probably would have been about 2 years old because they were a lot cheaper, because the only way my dad would buy them for me. I just used to look up at them with my jaw by my knees and was completely insular towards these figurines. And if I see them to this day at 34, if I see them on eBay, I look at them and I still stare. I want it.
Yeah.
I want them all again.
No, that's why I don't go on eBay anymore, because I know I do shit like that.
I am going to buy an original series bloody figure from Kenner, boxed. I'm going to buy one.
Which one do you?
I don't care, as long as it's boxed.
Apparently Greedo's the one to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to get one that I had as a kid. Just to sort of like, you know.
I think Chewie was probably my favourite as a kid until my dad caught it in the lawnmower.
All right, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, there was one bounty.
You got Chewie. You got very
Chewie got chewed.
Yeah.
And there's another character got chewed. I don't know if I said this on the show before. He's a bounty hunter, and the figurine, his head is exactly the same colour as a Karamak. And I used to chew it, thinking it would taste like a Karamak. I was a stupid kid. Although it didn't stop me from chewing it more than once, thinking it might taste like a Karamak. I was probably really hungry.
I had the three people that worked for Jabba, some of Jabba's guards, Klaatu, Barada, and Niktu.
Which we all know as the is actually a is it a little the day the Earth stood
Yeah.
the day the Earth stood still.
That's where those words first appeared.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then they were also in Willow,
Yes.
and obviously Star Wars, and what else?
My
Evil Dead.
personal favourite,
Evil Dead Part 2.
Part 3.
Part
actually.
3,
Army
right.
of Darkness.
Well, those words need to be.
Fatu Barada!
He couldn't remember. Right, Star Wars done.
Fucking hell.
For now.
Okay, we gotta delve into it now. The geek news.
Go on then. This is a good
the
bit.
superhero shite.
There's
There's so fucking much.
I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes! We've been talking about it for a good year and a half.
Do you remember when on this show you first said about it? They're going to be making it, and now
Yeah.
I've seen it, and it's got a what did I say?
You said a talking rabbit.
Talking rabbit or owl,
And
or
then a
some
badger.
shit.
And yeah.
It still doesn't explain it in that film. He was that bloody raccoon was taken off Earth and turned.
He was manipulated
Right.
cybernetically,
Yeah.
genetically enhanced and everything.
And Peter Serafinowicz had one of the lines of the film. I can't believe I'm taking
It
orders
was
off
from
a
a hamster.
talking hamster. Yeah, that's it, from a hamster. Deadpan as he does do. The old voice of Darth Maul.
But what did you think? I thoroughly enjoyed it
Yeah,
personally.
in that world of blockbusters and stuff, it was funny. It was very funny. It was stupid and funny and completely opposite to some of the darker, obviously, comedies, cartoons, bloody
Comic book
films that you see, and yeah, I enjoyed it. That's what you meant. You meant to enjoy films, aren't you? So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've seen it. I went to see it in the cinema with my son, and then
Did he love it?
He absolutely adores the film. I think he can't decide whether he likes Star-Lord, Groot, or Rocket Raccoon more.
Right.
He doesn't care about the two green aliens.
That's his. Well, that's for him to muse over.
Yeah. And I mean, spoilers. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, where the fuck have you been? But let's talk about the famous Marvel end credit sequence.
Oh, Howard the Duck.
Howard the fucking Duck, the first Marvel movie character, if you think about it,
No.
in a cinema, cinematically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
They were all
even,
TV
They were
movies.
TV movies.
Incredible Hulk did a fuck ton as well.
Yeah,
with
but
Rickman.
he wasn't released in the cinema, was he? So yeah. Yes, he is then. Was that produced by George Lucas? No,
It
wasn't.
was.
It was.
It was. I went to see that in the cinema.
I haven't seen it for years. Was
I-
it bad? Because I don't. I
It's
remember
pretty
liking it as a
fucking
kid.
awful.
I remember liking it as a kid.
I remember not really getting most of the jokes. Because
Right.
I went to see it in the cinema. There's a bit where she pulls a condom out of Howard's wallet.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
I got
There's
that.
tits. There's duck tits in it.
Yeah, it's a 15 certificate over here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I downloaded it quite recently on iTunes.
Right. Yeah.
It is available.
Right.
I don't know why, but I did.
Oh, it's
Just to remind myself, because Howard the Duck, it scared the shit out of me as a kid. The end of it, when what's the actor's name?
Tim Robbins.
No. I knew Tim Robbins was in it. It's Filzy. No, he was the Dr. Jennings was his character's name. He was Ed Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones, thank you very much. He is possessed by this interdimensional alien at one point through
Yes.
Howard the Duck. And he's sitting in a truck with the character Beverly, played by Marnie McFly's mom.
Yeah.
And
Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson. You're the man to go to for names, man. I just go to characters.
Yeah.
But and this tentacle comes out of his mouth. He just opens his mouth and this thing starts coming out of his mouth with claws on the end of it.
Yeah.
And he plugs it into the lighter of the
Yeah.
fucking thing and it starts powering up and shit. I, in the cinema, saw that with my mum on a Tuesday. It was $1 to get in. Cinema in Vista, California.
Right.
The Avos. And
I know it well.
And every Tuesday we went to see a film on a school night, me and my mum.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Some of them were shit. I went to see Out of Africa, where there couldn't be more bored.
Oh, God.
But
Can you
anyway,
imagine being a kid watching
I was
that?
underneath the fucking chair. Come in! We've just been joined by Luke Aldridge because we're doing a show at the moment.
I can't stop long.
Hello.
This is our guest from earlier on. In
Yes,
this,
we have another
podcast
episode
series.
with him. Scoot on over.
I can't stay for an episode.
No, we're
I
almost
really can't.
done.
Oh no, it's only 20
Oh, you're nearly
minutes.
done here.
We got 20 minutes.
Oh, that's it then.
But this is the beauty of live episodes.
Yeah,
It adds realism to it.
yeah. I should have said, do not disturb on the door unless you want to be a part of it.
Unless you want to talk about Howard the fucking Duck.
That's what we're talking about. Talking about the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I've not seen it.
You've not seen
Oh,
it.
he's ruined
Spoilers.
it.
Howard the Duck.
It's Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck makes an appearance.
Really?
Yeah.
At the very end.
Voiced by Seth Green.
Bloody Nora.
Yeah. Anyway, that was
Yeah,
Guardians
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Galaxy. Yeah, great film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, of course, we know we're going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Because Marvel released their
Thing.
projected tally of the next 5 years
Right.
of films they're going to do. And then a week later, DC decided to do the same thing.
Right, yeah, okay.
So it's going to be the battle of Marvel versus DC in cinema, as it has been in comic books for about a century now.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good battle for us, though.
Yeah, fantastic. We're going to have at least 4 comic book based films a year for the next 6 years. And some of them will be really like obscure, weird ones. We're going to have Sandman,
Okay.
written by
that's
Neil
cool.
Gaiman.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What, Sandman from bloody Spider-Man?
No.
Well,
He's,
there's another one called
he's the
Sandman.
master of nightmares and dreams.
Yeah.
What, you can have...
His name's Morpheus.
Oh, right, okay, I see.
And Neil Gaiman said, actually, in an interview today, I read, that he wants Tom Hiddleston to play the part. At first he thought Benedict Cumberbatch, but Benedict Cumberbatch is now playing Doctor Strange
yeah.
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which would be quite good.
They got these casting people need to realise there are other actors out there than the same ones that get picked for every film every time.
They're on fire.
Use
right
your
now.
imagination.
Everybody wants some of the Cumbersnatch.
Yeah, I suppose it draws in people, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Anyway.
Benedict's Cumbersnatch.
Benedict Cumbersnatch.
How's your Cumbersnatch, Benedict?
Snores Cumbersnatch.
It's okay, thank you.
Yes,
Roger
Steven
Moore.
Spielberg's making the BFG.
The Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
It'll be set in America.
Probably. Yeah. But then again, he did like Empire of the Sun, which I think is a fantastic.
Yeah, it's got a Welsh hymn in that film.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
One of the few films to have a Welsh film in it. Welsh hymn. in it.
Welsh hymn.
Yeah, a few
hymn.
films have a Welsh film.
A Welsh hymn.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, we're gonna have Black Panther the movie, Captain Marvel the movie. They were talking about.
Captain DC the movie, because
Yeah.
they've got to have one that's Nathan checks there.
Well, there is a DC character called Captain Marvel, but most people know him as Shazam. And this is before Marvel came out with a character called Captain Marvel.
That sounds pretty camp. Shazam.
Shazam!
Mm.
And
Who's
he
playing
gets
Shazam? Graham Norton. I'm Shazam in this film.
well, the villain, who has the same powers when he says the word Shazam,
Yeah.
is being played by The Rock.
Right, you know
Dwayne
Shazam.
Johnson.
What's that cartoon when we were a kid and he had a ring and he went Shazam?
That could be it. Was it the Captain? Was it Shazam Isis Power Hour?
God knows. They had 2 rings and they went Shazam, and this bloke popped out.
Oh! Wasn't that didn't Shaquille O'Neal play a character called Shazam or something in a fucking
God,
genie?
Probably.
Was he a genie?
I don't know. Can't remember. It's a cartoon.
I don't know. He was in the Super Friends, Captain Marvel, or
Yeah.
Shazam.
Could have been that.
And then there were the Wonder Twins that touched their rings together.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
And
touching the rings.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
That's it.
Form of and one of them would turn into a monster or something, and the other one would turn into something that had to do with water.
That's what I'm on
An
about.
ice chair.
That's what I'm on about, Charles.
Yeah.
Two twins
That
with
was
their
in,
rings.
that was in the Super Friends.
What's that going to do with Shazam then?
Not Brave Star.
He was in the team with them.
Right, yeah. I was right the whole time. I knew it. Brave Star. Brave Star will save
Speed
you.
of the Puma.
Speed of the Puma.
You know they're making a spoof film of the series Manimal? Do you remember Manimal?
With Simon McCormick.
That's the fucker. Awful. But it's
So-
developed this cult following.
Yeah, but if you make a
Over
spoof
the
of
years.
it, that's the thing. People remake films that are brilliant in the first place these days.
Yeah.
If people remake things that had potential and then take the piss out of it as well,
Will Ferrell is
it'll
playing the
prob-
part, so yeah.
well, it's going to work. It's probably going to be bloody hilarious then.
But I had a problem because he did the same thing with Land of the Lost. I don't know if
Right.
you've seen the film.
No.
Land
Oh,
of
is
the
that
Lost.
like the remake of the?
It was an old TV series
Right. Okay.
that I used to watch as a kid, and it was done by Sid and Marty Krofft. They were the poor man's Henson workshop. They did puppets and shit
Right,
like
okay.
that. H.R. Puffin stuff was their big thing. But they did this series, live action series called Land of the Lost, where a family gets sucked into a vortex into this prehistoric world that's in the center of the earth.
Right, as you
and,
do.
and shit like that. And I fucking loved it, and I was on like the edge of my seat every episode. Never once thought it was camp or fucking, but I thought the same thing of the 1966 Batman.
Yeah, well,
I didn't think it was a comedy
well, when I was
until
a
I
kid,
got older.
when I was a kid, the original Batman with Adam West was deadly fucking serious.
When
It
they're
was,
walking
you
up the
know,
side of a
yeah.
building.
Hang on a minute.
Careful, Robin. Both hands on the bat rope.
Yeah, because you'll fall.
I actually thought they would.
Yeah.
I said, they're maintaining such beautiful balance climbing up this rope. I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, they're strong, aren't they?
Yeah, fucking, they're awesome.
Superheroes.
Well, yeah, of course they can do it.
Adam West and Burt Ward.
What else is out, Giles?
Well, I mean, we got lots of Batman, Superman, DC crap like that.
Yeah.
They've released pictures of Wonder Woman, and
Wonder Woman.
we know Aquaman is going to be in this next film,
Aquaman.
Dawn of Justice.
Are they over egging the pudding?
Well, the only one who is apparently not appearing in it is Green Lantern. And
Flash?
they want to give Green Lantern a fair wide berth for a little while until people forget about Ryan Reynolds.
What about the Flash? Will he be in it?
Yes, I think so.
I've got a problem.
Or no, at least he won't be as the superhero. Apparently, it'll be his alter ego investigating the crime scene, because that's what Flash does.
You see, DC
He's a CSI kind of guy, forensics guy.
over egg the pudding, right?
Mm.
Because they've got Gotham out now, which is good as it is, which will have nothing to do with this new Batman Superman.
Have you been watching it, Goblin?
I haven't, no, but everyone
Sean
says
Pertwee's fantastic.
everyone says
in
it's
it.
brilliant.
What the TV
Yeah,
series?
but it's
Yeah.
got nothing to do with this film that's coming
No,
out. is it?
nothing.
Yeah,
No.
they're also doing Krypton series
Yeah,
about Krypton
I was going to go on to that.
from years
yeah,
and years
very
and years
good.
ago. Will that have
They're
anything to
doing
do?
Arrow. They're doing the Flash. I'm watching both Arrow and the Flash right now.
Yeah,
They're
they'll have different
fantastic.
actors playing that in the films.
Yeah,
There's too much going on.
Actually,
in my opinion.
the guy who plays Arrow has said that is a problem. He's gone on the record saying, "I would like to see the guy who plays the Flash in his show do it in the film,
Yeah,
he's
because-
fantastic.
Because you will
I
actually.
would love to be the Arrow in the Green.
Yeah, there's
Arrow
too much
in the
going on
film.
otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like the idea of, alright, yeah, we'll just have a fresh one for the film, but yeah, we've got a new TV
But they're all
series.
getting solo films. There's 2 Justice League films.
Oh.
Aquaman's going to be in 4 of these DC films, and he's being played by Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Momoa. I
He
can't
doesn't
say
look like Aquaman to me, but then, you know.
But they're going for the whole barbarian warrior type
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
For
yeah.
those of you who don't know who he is, he was
Conan.
he was Conan in the remake. He was Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones.
Oh, he's a massive, great big bloke. Yeah.
Big fucker,
Yeah.
scary guy. And he said in an interview, if he didn't get the chance to play Aquaman, he would be playing Lobo.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And
Who's
we've talked about
Lobo?
Lobo on this show before. Great character.
Who's that again?
Intergalactic bounty hunter who drives a Harley Davidson in space.
Alright, yeah, cool, yeah.
Do you remember?
Rings a bell now. How could I forget?
Then we're gonna have what other coming out 2016, same time as Batman and Superman. The Suicide Squad. Have you heard of this?
Yes, that's DC again.
Yes.
So we'll have yet another Joker.
Played by
I know it, and I know it because he's out of 30 Seconds to Mars and Fight Club. Jared
Leto. Yeah, Leto.
So he'll be playing the Joker, right?
Yeah.
But they'll probably have a different Joker in the bloody Ben Affleck universe.
No, it's connected.
Right,
It
that's
is
okay then,
connected.
that's good. That's better.
And they're saying that even though there aren't any on the list, they're saying Batman and Superman are going to have their own movies as well. Their solo films
Right.
as well.
Okay.
We also heard that Robin is going to be played by a girl, most likely.
Robin with a Y.
Jenna Malone from
Right.
Hunger Games and Sucker Punch.
Cock the hand, Batman, because the face ain't looking, okay? Oh, what?
But it looks like she's playing the character from the greatest Batman graphic novel, Dark Knight Returns.
Right. Was Robin a woman
Her
in
name was
that?
Carrie something.
Oh, right. Okay.
And yeah, she was a little ginger kid with these big 80s sunglasses. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
You still gotta watch Dark Knight Returns.
Right, yeah. Diddle-a-did-it.
And Danny Elfman.
Diddle-a-did,
Greatest hits.
diddle-a-did.
Every fucking film.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Beetlejuice. Edward Scissorhands. Tales from the Crypt.
Mission Impossible, the first Tom Cruise one.
Oh, fucking yeah. Yeah!
That's actually a bloody good score if you listen to the score. Yeah.
Yes, but in Suicide Squad is also known as Task Force X for the comic geeks. And it's a group of villains.
But they're not using this because it's too close to X-Men.
Well, no, they go by both.
Right.
The Task Force X, by everybody in the government, refers to them as the Suicide Squad.
So it's the Joker.
He won't be a member of the Suicide Squad.
He'll be a baddie.
I'm sure he'll be an antagonist or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they'll have to just... I'm not really sure it's going to be a big part for him.
Right.
Because they're a group of villains who are bounded together by the government to do these suicide mission jobs. And sometimes they are invading other countries, sometimes they are breaking into places like Arkham Asylum,
Right.
which is most likely what the scenario is going to be.
Why would
in
they have
this.
to break into there?
To steal something or get some information from a bad guy off the record.
Oh, off the record. Cause
It's always off the record
Oh,
stuff.
right, I see.
They're not expected to survive these missions.
Right.
And they all got little bombs in the back of their neck, and if they fuck up,
They'll get
they
blown
go
up.
boom. But it's going to have Harley Quinn, the very first time we're going to see her in a live-action scenario.
Right.
She was invented by the animated series,
Right.
and then brought into the continuity into the comics because everybody fucking fell in love with this character
Right.
in the old Batman animated series.
That's fair enough.
And she's being played by, I can't remember her name, but she was the sexy wife in Wolf of Wall Street of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I think she'll be amazing as Harley Quinn.
I know her name. It's a strange name. Maggie. No.
Barry?
Mildred.
Dave.
Dave.
Dave. Oh, it's still my head in. I know her name. Yeah.
Yeah, her. Holly Robinson? Why did that pop into my head?
No.
Anyway. And the character Deadshot, which is a professional sniper, he pops up in a lot of Batman books and other superhero books.
Yeah.
And looks like Will Smith will be playing him.
Will Smith,
Will Smith.
the Fresh Prince.
Tom Hardy is playing the character known as Rick Flag, who's just a hard...
So he's playing yet another DC villain.
But he's not... Dark Knight wasn't part of the continuity of
I
this
know.
new series. It all started with Man of Steel. You gotta think of it that way. Man of Steel was DC's Iron Man.
Right. So that's the reboot of DC entirely then.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Man of Steel was the very
Okay.
first one. And who else is in it? That guy who was John McClane's son. Jay
Oh, yeah,
Courtney.
yeah.
Jay Courtney.
He's in the new Terminator
Yeah.
film.
He's playing Boomerang, most commonly known as Captain Boomerang, but I guess they thought that was a bit cheesy.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good idea that they've dropped that.
It's a shame we gotta cut this short, but I had all these plans of doing an interview with Bill Cosby.
Margot Robbie, I remember.
Margot Robbie. There you
I remembered.
go. Harley Quinn is played by Margot Robbie.
Thanks, Google.
Yeah,
It's not a real weird name, that at all. It's fine.
I had all these plans of maybe doing an interview with Bill Cosby, but we don't have time for that. Maybe next time.
Plus, he's tired as well. He went on record as saying, I'm tired. Plus, he's going through a bad time at the minute.
I'm going through a bad time because I've not been a good person.
Yeah. I touched up a load of pain.
I drugged several women with the pudding, and they fell asleep when I had my way with them. Now the thing is, I don't want to believe any of these allegations, but I fucking do.
Yeah, of course he did.
I believe every single fucking one of them.
You don't go to the Playboy Mansion with half a ton of bloody Rohypnol for nothing.
Yeah, one of these women that come forward is married to Lou Ferrigno,
Fantastic.
the Hulk.
However,
And she said, I've never been grabbed so roughly by anyone as I had with Bill Cosby.
awesome.
And you married to the fucking Hulk.
Yeah, but that is fucking lad points right there. Even the Hulk didn't rough her up as much as Bill Cosby.
I haven't heard anything that Bill Cosby has said about this. I want to hear him apologize.
Who's that?
Lou Ferrigno.
All right.
Because he's deaf, you see.
Is he?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
Aside from being the Hulk, him being Greek and deaf are like the only other...
I didn't know he was deaf.
Yeah.
Well, how did he know what the director was shouting at him then?
They had cue cards.
Oh, right, I never thought that. Lou! Look at the fucking cuke!
Your paint is coming off your armpits, mate. Oh, Kitari, can you touch me up, please?
Right, I didn't know. I didn't realise.
I need a hairdryer.
Another bombshell. The Hulk is deaf.
The Hulk is deaf. And on that note, should we call it a day? Oh,
Yeah.
I want to do this quick thing really quick. Top 5, because it's Christmas. We haven't said anything about Christmas. It's our Christmas episode.
Christmas is shit.
Christmas is shit. But what are your top 5 Christmas movies?
Gremlins.
Gremlins? That's a good one.
I like Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore.
And John Lithgow!
I'm a very naughty boy. Number 1 for me has to be On Her Majesty's Secret Service, so that's me.
That's a Christmas movie? Is that take place during Christmas?
The only Bond film set at Christmas time, yeah.
Ah, yeah, it's been so long since I've seen that. I didn't realise.
It's a Christmas Bond movie.
Of course. I'm going to go with Die Hard.
Yeah, it's got to
Yeah,
go.
Die Hard,
Definitely.
quality,
Now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Scrooged,
Yeah.
one of my all-time favourite
Yeah,
Christmas
it is
movies.
good,
I have to watch it
Scrooged. I
every
love
year
Scrooged. Yeah.
without fail.
Scrooged.
My son, Harvey, he's 4 years old and has an affection for National Lampoon's Christmas
Ah,
Vacation.
Yes.
I'm going to see it when Clark falls off the house.
Holiday Row.
But I got the American version where there's lots of swearing in it. It's fantastic.
What, have they cleaned it up for over here?
Yeah, they totally
Home
did.
Alone.
They,
Home
That was a
Alone.
good
Home
Christmas
Alone.
movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Keep the change, you
Filthy
filthy
animal.
animal. But I just love Christmas Vacation when he's like, we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny fucking Kaye.
That's not in the kids' version. Is it?
And when Santa puts his fat ass down that chimney, he's going to find the happiest bunch of, what is it, the nuttiest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
They should do another National Lampoon film.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, Chevy Chase is kind of...
No, but they should do it where the kids are all grown up and they got the grandkids as well.
I heard they either have done that or they're going to do that.
They should do it.
No, yeah, Rusty is now Clark. Rusty was the son of the Griswolds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now he is Clark. They are doing this, and I can't remember his name. Ed something. He's in the Hangover films. The guy with
So they're
glasses.
remaking it, but Rusty will be Clark.
Yeah, he'll be Rusty Griswold and his.
All right,
family.
so they're not. It's a sequel.
It's the next
Right.
stage.
So
Yeah.
Chevy
in the
should be in it
Griswold
as
family.
well.
You may be in an old folks' home.
And
With like something
yeah.
stuck in his brain. He
we're
finally
going to
fell off the
fucking
roof.
Wally World.
Fucking Wally World.
My favourite one is European Vacation.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
With Mel Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do, right? He's trying to translate what he's saying.
It's so true. It's pissing down with rain. He goes to put the telly on. There's only 3 channels.
And they're all
Fuck
about
all of
cheese.
it. Like,
Yeah.
cheese.
They're all documentaries on cheese.
That is a backhanded stab at how shit television was in the UK.
Yeah,
Do you know?
Totally.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came over here in '87 and it was exactly like that.
My God, there's 3 fucking channels.
So do you want to watch cheese or snow?
Yeah, we'll leave it on that. I'll leave it on a nice, funny laugh. All right.
Happy Christmas, everyone. And
Dalek
Happy
Flower.
New Year. We'll
Lance.
see you in like April or something.
2016. when we'll be reviewing the Bond movie after Spectre.
And the Batman. And a long-awaited episode 7 review.
Yeah, and my theme for whatever. Right, cool.
Ta-ta.
Right.